peninsula. It was 1.5 square miles, shaped like a frying pan. Almost entirely surrounded by water at high tide. Made it really easy to defend. Also a lot of fresh water. Great place to start a community. Reverend William Blackstone was the first European settler here. He arrived in 1625. He had the whole place to himself. He loved it. He enjoyed his peace, his quiet, his solitude. Does anyone know who ruined that for him? And don't say his wife. Somebody yesterday said his wife. That's terrible. It was the Puritans. The Piss, not his kids either. It was the Puritans. The Puritans were seeking religious freedom and economic opportunity. Under the leadership of John Winthrop, they left Boston, England, arrived in Charlestown, soon realized Charlestown didn't have a lot of fresh water, which you need a lot of to sustain a large community. Anybody know why? Alright, you guys give blood today? What's going on? Alright, it's not even that hot. That was an easy one. You got a drink, right? There you go, alright. No trick questions. You got a drink. You got to brew beer too, right? Puritans love to brew beer. Now, Charlestown didn't have it, so they moved on to Shawmut Peninsula. By 1630, there were 150 people living here. It took Blackstone about 4 years to realize he wanted nothing more to do with the Puritans, packed up his bags, and sold his property to them in 1634 for 30 pounds sterling, equivalent to $150 per day. That's now the 48 acres of Boston Common to our right. The Puritans then changed the name from Shawmut to Boston for Boston, England they left from. Today it's much bigger than it used to be. Originally 1.5 square miles, today Boston's over 40 square miles. This is because of landfill and annexation. Now when I say landfill, I mean dirt and gravel filled into water to create buildable land. There's about 3,000 acres of landfill in the city. Anyone flying to Logan Airport? Logan Airport sits almost entirely on landfill. Original Boston, about half the size of Logan Airport. Right now we're on Charles Street. This is the original shoreline of Boston. To our right, you got 48 acres of Boston Common. Everything to our right, original Boston. What we're on right now, everything to our left, everything that we've been on so far on the tour and more, that's all landfill. That all used to be the bay and back of Boston, now the back bay, all man-made land. A good way to tell if you're on original Boston or landfill are the streets. The streets we've been on so far, flat, wide, and straight. They run in a grid pattern. Planned neighborhoods, man-made land, that's landfill. We're going to take this right. We're going to leave landfill, enter original Boston. You'll notice the streets become a little bit more narrow. We're going up a hill. No longer flat, no longer landfill. Probably the best way to tell that you're on original Boston, if you look to our left, you'll see brick sidewalks and gas lanterns. Much like your captain, those gas lanterns stay lit 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's cheaper for the city just to keep them lit all the time rather than hiring lamplighters to light them and extinguish them every day, which is what they used to have to do. The fill for the Back Bay area came from the Needham Heights area of Boston, just to the west. They began filling in the Back Bay in 1858. It took them about 40 years to fill in that area. Now, also Beacon Hill right here. Beacon Hill used to be about 60 feet taller. All right, I'm going to point out the new State House in a second. Beacon Hill used to be about as tall as the top of the new State House. They began leveling it off, pushing it over to the left to fill in some ponds and stuff right there. Now, Beacon Hill, this area, highly sought after property. Even though most of the houses here don't have a parking spot or even a yard, you guys have heard of Heinz Ketchup before, right? Teresa Heinz, the Heinz Ketchup heiress, she has a house here on Beacon Hill with Senator Kerry. They had a fire hydrant directly in front of their house. You know what that means? Couldn't park in front of their house. You know what they did? They paid to have the fire hydrant dug up and moved down the street about 20 yards in front of somebody else's house so they could have their very own parking spot. I didn't even know you could move a fire hydrant. Alright, now, I mentioned to you before, but on our left-hand side, you're going to want to have your cameras out. This is the crown jewel of Boston, the new State House. The red brick portion in the center, that's the original part. It's a Charles Bulfinch design. He was considered to be the first professional architect in the United States. The cornerstone of the red brick part was laid in 1795 by Sam Adams and Paul Revere after being brought up Beacon Hill led by 15 white horses. Each horse represented a state in the Union at that time. Gray wings on either side, those were added during World War I. Alright, how you guys doing? Any questions? Nothing at all. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? A little bit of both? Alright, I'll take that. Now, I think this trolley might be in the way. If you guys look over to our right, in between these big trees, can't tell if you're going to be able to see it. This is the Robert Gouldshaw Memorial. In case you guys come over here, you'll know. Robert Gouldshaw was the white commanding officer of the 1st All-Black Volunteer Regiment of the North during the Civil War, the 54th Regiment. Anyone ever seen the movie Glory? Alright, depicts the 54th Regiment. Now on our left-hand side, you're going to see a statue of a woman sitting down. She was voted the ugliest woman in Boston right there. No, I'm just joking. That's terrible. That's a statue of Mary Dyer. She was a Quaker. I mean a Quaker. She was a Quaker. She was a Quaker. She was one of 4 Quakers hanged by the Puritans for her religious beliefs. Do you guys remember why the Puritans came here?